We're live. Okay, so
How
if you want to
exciting!
go, okay, hi, you guys, welcome. We'll be right with you. Okay, we got to get our phones all set up. It's our first time live. This is Ann's actual first time live on Facebook through Restream program. So you're going to hit on your, oh, okay. So see, Ann, it says we're live. Okay, you see that?
Yay!
Okay, so we're going to go down. Phones all set up. It's our first time live. This is Ann's actual first time live on Facebook through. Okay, you're going to share now and you're going to love it. Love it. Okay. Phone's all set up. It's our first time live. This is Ann's. Okay, we're a little delayed here.
You're gonna hear a delay.
Hi,
Are
you
we gonna
guys.
be
Okay, we're
forced
going
to
to,
hear
huh?
ourselves? We're gonna
Huh?
be forced to hear our own selves. It's something you
we're
don't want to do.
we're here. Okay, welcome everyone. Welcome in. Just going to give it a few minutes and let people come in and join us. We are live. This is a new spiritual show that we're going to do every Monday called Stop Being Stuck on Stupid. Stupid. You say it cute.
Stupid.
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 Okay.
It's a great
So
one.
everyone please love, share, comment, and let us know that you're here. So yeah, so we know you're here. That's what I'm trying to say. Because if you guys don't like it or comment or do something, we're not going to know that you're watching. And we kind of want to know who's watching. That'd be kind of nice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm the moderator over here too, and also the host. And okay, so you guys, I'm here with Ann. I know a lot of you guys know who I am because I know that I'm talking to a lot of my clients out there, and I hope that you guys will enjoy me going live in the evening now once a week. I will also be going live tomorrow morning with my spiritual show that flows with Julie, Love Warriors. And so here on Monday night, I will be on with Anne from Australia. She is a very good, one of my best friends, a best friend of mine that I don't go a day without talking to. We message each other every day, almost every day. We might miss a day or two because we get a little busy, but we never go no more than a day without being in communication with each other. She is an energy reader. She is my energy reader. She has helped me for 5 years now. We have been very close for 5 years, and she is a very high vibrating spiritual person who is actually doing the work. Um, so we're here just to bring it to you guys for real. And I'll go ahead and let Anne talk a little bit and introduce herself and what she does.
Well, I think what you said, Claudine, was too nice. I feel
Well,
like you
welcome.
embellished. You
I
embellished
love
a
you.
lot there. But um, I am just really psychic somehow. That's what I call. I just have to accept it nowadays. I'm not one of those psychics that try and tune in. I just somehow will hear, see, feel things that are just in my face. So that's what I say to people. I'm just really psychic. I can't help it. If I don't see it, I'll go to sleep and I'll see it in my dreams. Like it is what it is. I wouldn't say I'm high vibrating, but
That's you're very high vibrating, and she
I'm
she
not
also
spiritual, but I'm actually not spiritual. I like to correct people on that because I'm actually the opposite of spiritual. Because I've had people meet me, spiritual people, and after they've come away from spending time with me, they've gone, "You're the most superficial person I have ever met in my life." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." Um, I am I not so much, I'm much more aware of it now, but I'm not spiritual. I don't practice anything. I don't. Like, I'll be very honest. The only thing I practice in my life is what I intake into my body, what I put into my mouth and chew and swallow. That is where I practice probably my biggest spiritual side, is trying to keep my gut clean, my mind clean by what I ingest. So, but I don't meditate. I don't sage. I don't, I'll do that randomly or sporadically, but I don't practice it anymore.
Well, you are very esoteric. How about that? That's the word
Yes.
I like to use. I'm the same way. I mean, when you Yogi Josh and I, we go around and say, I don't want to use the word spiritual anymore. I'm so tired of it because what we see in the spiritual community, it's
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
It is really crazy. And a lot of them, I mean, if that's spirituality, I don't want it.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Mhm. Mhm.
A
So
100%.
yeah, so I've been calling it esoteric is another word I've been
I
using.
do.
I'm esoteric.
I
Mhm.
do too. I've been saying that, and even people who I come across who like do energy healing or do some kind of, or are very like spiritually in touch, and they talk to me, and then when they start to complain about, they always seem to complain about some kind of dietary gut issue that they have, and the best to where they've been to doctors and doctors can't help them and all this kind of stuff. I put it really simply. To me, I say to them is like, you have to start looking at yourself as more esoteric. Like even in the physical, you have your body changes, the way you live your life. It just becomes a natural part of you that you have to be more in tune with. So yeah, esoteric is
Mhm.
definitely the word.
Mhm. Mhm. And you know how I like to call it the God coat. I put my
Mm,
God coat on. It's every day, every minute, every second. I don't turn it off, jump out of it and say, "Ooh, I'm Gucci today." It doesn't work
mm-hmm.
that way.
Mm-mm.
Spirituality, being esoteric, it doesn't work that way.
No.
Because as you know, if you don't keep this clean, if you don't
Mm-hmm.
put what you're supposed to be putting in your mouth,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to receive your messages. You're not going to
No.
have the straight connection.
No, no. It definitely muddles the connections
Well, because you're
because it
polluted.
changes for
You're
sure,
polluted.
for sure,
Hmm.
for sure. 100%. I can't even like physically drink alcohol. It's funny because I used to drink alcohol and not have a problem, and literally like overnight I went from being someone who could drink easily half a bottle of vodka a night or close to a bottle of wine to just overnight my body just went nope, and I would drink and I'd get to that point and instead of feeling drunk I'd actually feel really violently sick to where I'd have my head over the toilet bowl and I'd have to lie down, and when I would close my eyes my head would just spin and I would feel so full of like fluid, like I felt like I was drowning and I just feel so sick, and it got to a point where I went, I cannot physically feel like that, so I'm just not going to drink. And my body did. It just decided that it wasn't going to tolerate alcohol whatsoever anymore. And if I was to go against it, it was going to let me know that it wasn't happy with me. And yeah, I stopped drinking because I just physically couldn't
You're
drink
listening
anymore.
to your body.
I had to. I didn't want to have my head over a toilet bowl while everyone's out there drinking. Like I used to be be the fun part of the party when we get drunk, to having my head in a toilet bowl, and that was so embarrassing. Like
Yeah.
I hate looking weak when I drink. Like, and I wouldn't drink very much.
There's no weaker human on this planet than someone who's drunk.
True, true.
Yeah. 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 And
Yeah,
letting that spirit invade you, and I know how I feel about alcohol. And
yeah,
I know a lot of my clients out there who I work with know how I feel about alcohol. And
yeah,
just a reminder, you guys, of what I do own my own plant medicine store and healing facility where I transfer people off of pharmaceuticals and street drugs and alcohol onto plant-based medicine and a healthy lifestyle. So, of course, I wouldn't work with Anne if she drank.
Mhm.
So I wouldn't.
I wouldn't work with me if I drank.
I
I
don't,
get a
yeah.
bit mouthy.
That's how, that's another thing too I see in the spiritual community with a lot of people who are leaders in it, and they're very well respected. And I see them after they're off of their show, or I see them after hours, and they're down in that wine. Oh, it's just one glass, but
Mhm.
nope, nope, nope.
It definitely muddles, like for me who's like, I'm constantly getting and feeling things and stuff. When you drink, it just muddles things. Like it heightens, maybe you're angry at this person and then you rage text them, and then it's like it just creates bad, like nothing about alcohol personally for me, in my experiences, there's nothing about it that benefited me on any, like when I think back to it, because I'm so clear of mine now because I have like no alcohol in me for like 5 years. So when I think back to it, I think, oh, because at the time it wasn't that bad. Like, I to me, I didn't go violent, and I was just funny, and I get a bit mouthy and stuff, and have a bit of attitude. But when I look back to it, it's like there was just nothing good about it. It was like, I'd make bad decisions or do stupid things that I regret the next morning, or have said something with my loose mouth, and yeah, or rage texted someone, and I'd wake up just feeling shit the next day. Plus, I'd have a hangover, and it'd just be like, yeah. I look at people now and they have hangovers or they do really stupid stuff on alcohol, and I just think like, or say to them like, what a waste of time. Like you're gonna have to clean all that up tomorrow morning. Like, what's the point? Not even my
I
boyfriend drinks as much alcohol now, because when he has a hangover, I just say, don't look for sympathy from me because you did that to yourself. Like, you go sulk over in the corner somewhere.
I just have
Try and be
nothing to do with
okay.
people. Yeah, I
No,
just don't.
I mean, I
I
don't like
won't.
the vibration of hang. I don't like the vibration of it. I don't. It just agitates me. It puts me in a foul mood, so I have to
You,
walk away from it.
yeah, you can see the spirit invading them. Literally, you can see that their soul has literally been hijacked.
I know, right? It's no good, and it's so bad for your body, Claudine. Like nothing about it benefits your body. Like it harms your liver, it harms your gallbladder, then it harms your kidneys, and just everything. Like it goes into your digestive system and it just toxifies everything. And then you got to detox all that out. Like, what's the point? But
Exactly.
each to their own, and I'm not going to judge because each to their own. But that is just how I feel about alcohol. And I
Yeah,
have that stance with it with anyone I come across.
and it's not judgment. It's
Not
just setting your
judgment.
boundaries. It's setting
Yeah.
your boundaries. It's doing your discernment. I'm not. Anyone could do whatever they want. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're going to work with me, or if they're
Mm-hmm.
going to hang with me, I ain't having that. That's just the
Mm-hmm.
way it is. And
It's all about the vibration.
mhm,
The
mhm.
vibration of that human. If you know where your vibration sits at and you come across that vibration, it's gonna give your vibration an agitation to some degree, because you just don't want to feel like, and it's such a strong spirit that comes with it, and a strong energy that comes with drinking and alcohol and hangovers. I just don't like it.
Me either. Me
It's not
either. I
my,
can't.
it's not my energy, not my thing.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out if anyone's on. I don't know. I guess we'll just keep going.
Hmm.
I don't know how to turn on the comments. I hope the comments are on. We'll see. We'll just keep going.
I agree.
We don't have any. Yeah, we don't. We're not. This is not scripted, you guys. We're not scripting this. We're just coming, and you're just seeing two of the two very good best friends that live oceans and oceans apart. And we just talk our spiritual talk, and like I said, we help each other um, on our journey. I've been on my spiritual journey for quite some time. It's probably been about, I would probably say, maybe about 10 years. Pretty heavy and taken for a ride. I guess you can say.
Mhm. It's the only way to learn
Uh,
things, but
yep. And we know that we're here to help create the new earth. We were one of the ones that woke up really early, and we're here to help create and move the new earth in. It's here. We
mhm.
just have to stop being stuck on stupid.
It's true.
It is true.
I
It
didn't
is true.
I didn't really like I didn't really wake up at any point. I was just like born into being awake. So yeah.
Well, you have an interesting story, and this is what I love about you so much, and I love your story. And what, I just thought it was so fascinating was when you told me that you were raised in a cult
Yep.
in Australia or Thailand. It was Thailand, right?
It was actually an American cult from California.
Did you hear you
But
guys? Did you guys hear that? She was in a cult, raised in a cult that
yeah,
taught her about American people, about America
yeah,
being,
yeah.
well, I'll let you tell your story. You tell the story.
It was it was it was a Jewish man who grew up in synagogues and learned like Zionist type teachings and whatnot, I think. And he was all about, so it was in the hippie days, and he was all about fleeing America, get out of America. America is where the Antichrist will rise from. America is the whore of Babylon. America is like, so it was all about get away from America. But he was an American, a Jewish American. And it's so strange. And we had all these homes like in Europe, Asia. They went everywhere. Australia. They became like missionaries, but it was all his teachings um, that he would teach and his prophecies. But it was all based off of like Bible prophecy, but then mixed with what he was interpreting of that prophecy. But it was all about America. It just was. And I didn't care much when I was in it. I tuned out a lot, but I have a strange brain with the way it receives stuff and the way it sits in it. And a lot of things that he said or I was taught, I don't know if it was like things I was taught or I was hearing angels. I'm not too sure because I spaced out a lot, but there's a lot of things that I was told as a young child that have somehow sat in my memory, like almost like a film, like 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 a film, like a movie. And it comes back to me at times as things happen. It's like, oh, I remember I was taught that, or I remember what that is, and it's like a little map that goes off in my brain. But yeah, it's interesting because
Well,
I
sometimes
hate
you'll
it.
message him, you'll go, "Oh my gosh, I remember what that was about. I remember I was told that."
Yeah, like even like the
Yeah,
celebrity
you'll
stuff,
have
like
memories.
in the way celebrity the Hollywood and the celebrity world is built. I was taught it like it all makes sense to me, like all the homosexuality, all the porn, all the kitty stuff, the pedophilia stuff, but more or less the sexual nature and how they like to create that homosexuality. But now we're getting it like with the black community side, and I don't want to offend people here, but I learned like the very like what came more from like the Bible side of it, like the really deep, dark side of spirituality and why they create this energy within the entertainment and you know industry and stuff. But yeah, I don't know, but it's like so much deeper than what we see it at of like just oh it's disgusting, it's pedophilia, like it's like this spiritual real yuckiness that's really really deep and everything spiritual the way when it manifests into physical will come with a very powerful energy, because they're creating that energy. So those are all kinds of things that I like learned as a kid. But yeah, I didn't take much notice, to be honest. I really didn't. But it just all, I don't know. It's like this weird movie that has been stuck into my brain. And every so often, a clip goes off, and it's like I got it pressed play, and something will run back, and I'll be like, oh my God, and it'll just all make sense. And I'll see these pieces of the puzzle. But yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if that was the adults who were teaching us, or if that was like literally like maybe angels around me that were like whispering and saying, "Oh, this Anne and this and this."
Mm-hmm.
But
That
because
resonates
my
with me. Yeah. They have you keep
yeah,
the things that you need to keep, then you forget, and then they put it back in, you know.
yeah,
That's how
yeah,
I see it. I think something gets turned on inside of you,
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
or something triggers. You see something, or you hear something, or you smell something, and it triggers a memory, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, that's right. I never forgot about that."
yeah, yeah,
It's laying deep down dormant inside of me.
yeah.
That's what I
It's
feel from you when you
yeah.
like, you know,
I
when you
think
message
so.
me, I'm like, "Oh, she woke up another
And
dormant part of her."
yeah, I think so. And it's like when you're psychic, like for me being psychic, I tune out a lot because there's too much. But I think sometimes certain things that are going to be very crucial parts that they want you to remember, they find a way to just store it in your memory bank. So when it's like when that puzzle gets put together, that it goes off in your mind too. It's a bit like a mad scientist, I guess, how their brain would work with like seeing such like deep stuff that is so simple to them, but to us it's like, what, that's so amazing. But to them it's just puzzles that go off in your mind that connect the dots. And it's like, how can you not see that? Like I can see it, but it makes sense to people. But it's like, how'd you come up with that? But it's like it comes from somewhere else. It comes from a different source than your own human way of thinking, if that makes any sense. Yeah. But if anyone wants to look up the
Yeah,
cult,
I
they can go
follow
look
it.
up
You
David
know that.
Berg. That's who the cult originated from. So,
That's who your
but
cult leader
yeah,
was, huh?
yeah, that's who he was. So, anyone ever wants to like look it up more or see what cult it was, or yeah, because I know people get really into cults. It's strange. There was so much taboo on the word growing up, and
Oh
I
my,
really don't.
everything's a cult. Every,
Everything's a
actually,
cult.
all these
Hollywood is a
religions are
cult.
cults. I mean, cults have been around for a long, long time.
Claudine,
And yes, I will call when I was a Christian, I think I was in a cult.
yes. Everything is a cult. A family can create their own little cults. Hollywood is a cult. All this
It,
transgender bringing up their kids, everyone gets all angry and oh horrified. That is their cult teachings. That when you, I would be a very good person when it comes to cults because I can see straight away when something is just a cult thing, and it's like if they're going to be in that society, they have to do things a certain way. Like in the cult I grew up in, there are many rules. And if you didn't abide by them, you're not in the cult. You get kicked out. That's how a cult works. So if
hmm
they're in Hollywood, how
Well,
can
it's the
people be
belief system.
horrified?
It's them. Yeah, yeah. It's the belief system. It's their belief
Yeah,
system.
it is. It's their belief system. It's how they generate the energy within that cult, like Scientology. You know, they generate a certain energy within that cult. That's what a cult is to create their own energy. Like the Mormons, they have their Mormon energy. And they have to do these certain things because everything you do is creating energy. So, you know, it's creating big energy. If 200,000 people around the world are all doing this one certain thing, that's creating that cult energy within them. So
By the way,
that's the
the
way a
Mormons
cult
are,
works.
yeah, Mormons are very strong elite cult. I'll tell you
Yes.
that. I told you
I
I
don't
just
know if
got
I
a
like Mormon.
huge download on all that not too long ago.
Mormon energy, for me, as someone who sees energy, whenever I see Mormon energy, it is very heavy energy. Some of the people are very nice and they're very kind, and I see what they're teaching, but
Your
the
basic
energy
Mormon
around,
is a sweetheart. Yeah, I love the basic Mormon, the basic human Mormon who gets up, goes to work, you know what I mean? Or religious person. Because they don't understand the brainwash that they've truly been under. And they don't
mm-hmm,
understand the truth. You know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
And
They are just creating energy for that religion or that cult or that whatever
it's
you're
being harnessed.
practicing. You're just create. If you're gonna buy into someone else's energy and take that on and practice it, go for it. Go give all your energy to them. Like have fun with it. But I just always look at it as like we create our energy. So if you want to go put it all into someone and obsess about them, go for it and get lost in it. I like to keep mine to myself as much as possible and create energy that works for me, that helps me get to places, or you know I really do protect my, I don't like to give my energy out to just any person, much less a religion. I don't have any problem with religion. I don't, people can be whatever they want, just be kind. But personally, I don't put my everything into any religion.
One
I am,
basket.
no, no. I'll take bits like Buddhism. I'll take what I like out of Buddhism and the things that are spoken of. Christianity, what the Bible says, I'll take out. I look at Bible as blueprint more than anything. So if the Bible is telling you rules and stuff that you should be practicing, I look at it as blueprint of like, okay, like they tell you a lot about the spiritual world and what you should be doing, what you shouldn't be doing, and all that kind of stuff. I do abide by that to a great degree. So, to me, that's like some kind of rule book, lessons, blueprint. So, yeah, I just take bits of everything, but to where it benefits me, not to where I'm giving my energy to that source, to that foundation, or that, you know, yeah, that establishment. Yeah, I won't be doing
See,
that.
and my belief is that I don't, nobody should tell me what to do, when to do it, how to do it, and why to do it. I can govern myself. I have
Mm-hmm,
the love of the creator inside of me. I am
mm-hmm,
a part, I come from that creator, and that love is just naturally in me. I know right from wrong, you know. I
mm-hmm.
don't need someone
Exactly.
to tell me. And that is exactly what school did, religion, and anyone who has known me for since I was a child, whatever, will tell you, I've always been really rebellious against the system. But now
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Now I understand it because I've never liked rules. If there was a bunch of rules, Claudine didn't do it. I was like, nope, not doing it. Don't tell me because I'll break the rules and I'll be the one at the principal's office, like I was, getting kicked out of school and everything else that when I went through as a child. I know it was very difficult to raise because I came out esoteric. I came out telling my mother, God loves you and the plants will save the world. Well, I would say cannabis when I learned what cannabis was. I called in, and the weed will save. My mom was like, "Oh, this child's going to prison." She didn't, she didn't know. But now that I'm older, and and I've grown into my esotericness, and I understand it, I think that's the number one thing. When you learn how to understand your gifts,
It's
ah,
so much better. And
I
you know what?
cannot. Yeah,
Everybody
I can't
has,
express
everybody.
how wonderful life becomes.
Mhm. But you know that people can become a lot more in tune with this kind of stuff than they realize. Like just even basic people who don't practice this stuff, who have no interest in it, even they can find ways to be more in tune with this, because people experience dreams that will stand out to them. And if they just understood it better, people get feelings that they absolutely ignore. And then afterwards, they'll be like, damn it, I felt this, I could feel. And they just tell you, like, they start sounding crazy because they want you to, like, I felt this, I felt this. And it's like, I know you felt it. It's okay. It's normal. That's just your psychic side, like picking up on stuff. But they don't listen to it. And if people just took a moment to like take more notice of these things, they'd realize, hey, look, I do have gifts. It's like it's not that far fetched to have gifts. When people
Well,
say,
they don't understand that they are a multi-dimensional being that
mm-hmm,
comes from a place where there's no beginning and no end. And that's who they are. That's their
mm-hmm,
true form. And then they're having this human experience. They're having this
mm-hmm,
physical experience where they're feeling feelings. You don't have feelings when you're in your multi-dimensional being, you don't,
no,
well, you know, not to the degree like we do because we have sexual organs and they don't have a brain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that is what we come here to have, the human experience and to have this beautiful incarnation. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm one of the luckiest people on this planet to be exactly where I am right now in this incarnation, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And
I agree.
yeah, if the humans understood that they're more powerful than what they've been told. And again, this
Mm-hmm.
is a lot what this show is going to be about, you guys. Stop living the lies. Stop being stuck on stupid, because you've been brainwashed. You've been brainwashed from even before you got into this planet. From the minute you came out, you have been
Mm-hmm.
brainwashed by I used to call it the fake light matrix, but now I call it the anti source and neutral source, because there's a lot of stuff going on out there that you guys don't know about, you don't understand, because you get your information from the news or TikTok or lives like this. um Creators, I guess, is what they call themselves. And and if they don't if they don't speak of love, they don't have love coming out of them, then they're not speaking anything that you really need to know, because you
Mm-hmm.
want to hear love. And that you guys do. Everyone has gifts. Every single person does.
100%. I think
Hmm.
I think with all the information out there these days, I think it's good just to have really good discernment. And just, I think everybody needs to practice just having better discernment in life.
But most people don't even know what discernment is, and they don't
True.
understand. That's why I like, calling the show the common sense, spiritual common sense, because people they don't understand spiritual common sense, and or
True.
esoteric common sense, whatever you want to call it. And discernment is just judge well for yourself. Judge well.
Mm,
Don't
mm,
judge somebody, but judge well. Judge the
mm-hmm,
situation, judge it well for yourself.
mm-hmm. Exactly. Oh, it must sound so complicated to people, but it must sound like we make it sound so simple. But when I think about it, people would be listening, going, "Oh my God, that's like so stupid." Like,
No, but it's not, because your first thought is your God thought. Your first thought that comes in, but they take it because they're so brainwashed to think linear. They take
mm-hmm,
that God thought, which is their first thought, and they put it in their linear brain that they've been brainwashed, and they talk
mm-hmm,
themselves into it or they talk themselves out of it.
mm-hmm,
How much energy have they wasted now by doing that and not just going with their first thought? Their
mm-hmm,
first thought, their first feeling, everything. That is your esotericness right there telling you.
mm-hmm, mm.
Don't do that. Don't listen to that. Whatever it is, you know.
Your gut,
Step
just your inner self, for sure.
your.
But
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It seems overwhelming. This is another thing that, like, even though some people will say, "Oh, but I haven't been brainwashed," one thing we have been, and it starts from the second we're born in school, is we get conditioned. We get conditioned through everything. We get conditioned through social media. We get conditioned through movies of what is cool, what is not cool, what's a cool line to say, and come back to that just gets said at
What
you,
to
and we
wear,
get.
what to buy, what to
Mhm.
do. Yep, it's
I
all
had a very
mainstream media.
I had a very, very, very interesting experience with a mushroom capsule, and it showed me just that conditioning. And it was like, to this day, I really struggle to just do basic comebacks, because I realized that it's like we've watched movies all our lives and seen interactions of cool people and whatnot. And when we talk to each other, our brains are like conditioned to be thinking about what we're going to say to outdo. And I saw myself do it. Like, I had this capsule, and for the first day I felt nothing, but then the second day I started seeing this way that we talk to each other, and I could see conversations about 2 to 5 seconds ahead of what was happening, and I could see what the comeback would be to that, to that, to that. And it was like a movie. But it's because we've all been conditioned to, like, have this way about us, and that's part of our personality, and like, we're really quick with our mouth, or that person's not, and we do it, and we're like characters in the movie because of, but because from the way we've been conditioned throughout our lives to think what's cool, what's not cool, what's cool enough for our personality. And it was like, it really opened my mind to just how much of a matrix and simulation this our world is down to us. Like we
Hmm.
create our own movies in our interactions with people. And it's
Because
like we,
yeah, the AI of the Matrix, which is ran by the AI anti-source, is the one who told us what to think, how to think. And it
yes,
goes with the minions, you know, the
yes,
government, Hollywood, athletes. They
everything.
are the minions. They're nobody. Because
Yeah,
behind the scenes, people, there's people behind the scenes. And behind the
yeah,
scenes are behind the scenes.
yeah.
So we got this show, we got these puppets. They're little puppets. Then we become they harness our energy. We do what
Yeah.
they say because we don't know how to think for ourselves. And that's
Yeah.
why they started the news.
Hmm.
They started having newscasters. Here we go. Doesn't make sense, but we buy into it. You got
Hmm.
people going from this country over to that country or this state over to that state, paid very well in their high heels and their shiny shoes, reporting on a story in a neighborhood they know nothing about.
Hmm.
They don't, and they're so biased. They're very biased to whatever the agenda is that they're told to say.
Oh, for sure. For
You
sure.
don't hear two sides of the story.
No.
How about this concept? We start have people, regular people, just doing the news themselves, who don't get paid, who know their neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
news. I love listening to people in social media, wherever I can get it. You don't see it on TV, but anyways, who are giving real news of what's going on in their neighborhood. I love that, and especially when
Hmm.
it's good stuff.
Hmm.
We need more news out there of the good stuff that's happening because there is so much good stuff happening out there right now. I
Hmm.
have beyond eons and eons belief in the human race that we're going to raise this planet from a planet of duality to a planet of unity. I believe that with all my heart because when I have seen Ann and I, we love to watch the earthquakes. We are into Mother Gaia like no, we love Mother Gaia. We understand
Hmm.
why we're here. We're
Hmm.
here to be work for Mother Gaia. We get it.
Hmm.
And to see her do her devastation, to have an earthquake or a volcano or something or a tsunami or a hurricane come through a state and just wipe out a complete county, man, that hurts. You want to know who I see come to the aid? It's the people in the town. They come
Hmm.
together. They're the ones who come together. The insurance companies, the government, not any of them, not FEMA, none of them. And by the way,
No.
FEMA's bankrupt. So what the heck? How does a big industry like that go bankrupt? Who goes and helps people?
Hmm. I
Please,
never
come
thought.
on.
FEMA isn't. What's FEMA? Oh, I don't know. Maybe you have a different.
Yeah,
What's FEMA?
it's FEMA. Yeah, it's FEMA camps. You've heard of FEMA camps. I'm sure you have. But
I've heard of
FEMA
them.
is what comes in, like the Red Cross. Do you have the Red Cross out there?
Okay. Yep.
And
Yep.
Red Cross is bankrupt too. They went bankrupt a while ago. But it's the people in the town, in the
For
state that
sure.
come together and they
For sure.
help each other. And
For
because
sure.
I see that, I know we've got this. We have got this
Yes.
to kick this ugliness that is controlling this planet and our government. Because, a lot of people hate America. And this is one thing that I remember when we first talked and you told me how bad everyone hated America. And I was like, but why? Remember how I was butthurt? Remember how hurt I was like, no, no.
Yeah. You
But then I
you weren't as
realized
bad as some other Americans.
we went through our thing with me being American you know,
Hmm.
with the
Yes.
Hulu thing and stuff. And they didn't like that fact at all, that I was an American. But this is what I told you. I said, not all Americans are bad, Anne.
No.
It's our government. It's our government that you guys hate. Trust me, it's not the basic Americans that should be hated on. We're actually very loving people who we just want love. We want to be with our family more. And we all deserve a good place, a safe place to lay our head and a good meal. You know what more do you want in life? And that's, I feel like every basic human deserves that.
Mm,
But
yeah.
the poison is on us the most, and you've agreed with that. We're more poisoned than anybody.
America's so poisoned. They are just poisoned from the ground up. Like
We're
everything you guys get is just, but it's to
everything.
keep your minds dead. I see it. They do it to keep, because the Americans have been the test subjects. Like everything that could be experimented on humans is done in America first. So I look at you guys, and your food is toxic. Your water, like everything, your air,
Skies. I show you
your
pictures of the
sky,
skies.
your like channels, like TV, like probably the thing I struggle with Americans the most is they're very out of touch, but they think they're very in touch. Like even the whole woke thing that you guys have over there, like it's not woke, people. Like if that's woke, God bless you. But when you get real woken, it's going to be scary, because you're going to realize that everything you've been saying is woke is like not woke. It's like everything that is bad and you have bought into it as woke. But yeah,
It's
it's
another
probably
trend.
more.
It's just another trend and another separation of people, you know. And again, like I've told you, the war between the light and the darkness, it's real. This is a
Yeah,
real war we have been in, and it's a silent war. Not so much
yeah.
anymore, but it's a silent war that we have been in. And that was just another attack done by the Democrats, the Democrats, as you know how I call them, the Democrats. Um, I am not
I
political at all. I just want people to know here, I'm not political. I do not, uh, God bless all of them. Not really, but anyway. But they're here to do a job. I know who they are. I see them, and I'm here to do what I can to put a stop to it and not listen to their nonsense. So I just
yeah,
want my followers to know that we are not in any way or form political here.
yeah.
Um, they took our born given rights away from us, all of our born given rights. I've stood here most of my life, being on Capitol Hill, fighting for our born given rights. And one of them is
Mm,
cannabis, and now it's mushrooms and everything else that I fight for. So,
mm. I don't.
yeah,
I don't buy. I don't even know politics. Like, I don't wouldn't know who the prime minister is here. The only reason why I know anything about American politics is because it's pushed on the rest of society, whatever goes on in America. So it's almost kind of like watching a movie, because it's such a popular vote of like, the Democrats used all the celebs and stuff, part of, when the celebs were at their very height. So I guess it got very Hollywoodized. Um, but it's very in line with what I was taught as a child, what's going on in America with politics, to what I was taught to watch and see what goes on in America. And when it hits certain points, it's like that matches up with that from prophecy, da da da. But yeah, so politics, but I don't get into like the what they we're going to do this for the country, we're going to do that. I don't know anything about it. But Democrats, for me, that I would say about them now for America is, to me, and I will always call the Democrats this, they were America's Trojan horse. They were America's Trojan horse. And you know what? They even got me. Like, I was so asleep that the Democrats were like, they were like angels coming out of the sky to save the world. Like, they were just this wonderful, love everybody. It was just all this happy Obama, like all of it. Like, I bought into all of it. So when I saw the opposite of what it truly is behind the curtain, that was very like, that was very quite intense for me, to be honest, because it's like this whole thing that I had seen, what was like reality to me, was like just this whole different reality. And it was so dark and gross and intense and deep. But yeah, but I bought the lie. I bought right into it. I was the biggest Obama fan. And yeah. I was sweet talked by that man like nothing else. Like he got me like all the rest of you. But yeah, so but I don't get into I at the same time I don't think Trump is any savior. So I know I'm going to offend a lot of people, but it's
Oh
just
yeah,
how I
Trump
feel.
is everyone's savior right now. He's gonna do everything. But wait till the not even a real dude they're looking at. It's not even a real person. You know, I know I say this. I, I no, he's not. He is not.
No,
He is dead. He died right after he got done with his first term. He died from cancer.
that's what Claudine
And
was
we've been
saying,
looking at the
and I support
clones,
it.
and now the clones got destroyed because of some stupid esoteric thing they did, and the clones are gone now. So all you're gonna see is a fat man with a mask.
All that goes right over my head, but
All
I
right, we
trust
lost
you.
her.
But it,
You there?
yeah,
Yeah, well, it is what it is. And
we're, people are going to get so offended by
they're
this
not the only
political
ones.
stuff.
I feel Michael Jackson. I feel like Michael Jackson made all of this real popular
Made
because
what
I
popular?
believe he started using body doubles first,
Mm.
like the body
Some,
doubles type deal thing. You know what I mean? He got. Hmm.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
just go
but
by energy. Somehow or another, I have just always had very natural reactions to anyone on the world stage, and they're reactions that are not thought by me. They're just natural. Like P. Diddy, right back from my 20s when he was getting famous and all this stuff, I had a very, very strong reaction to him. I didn't like him. I found him repulsive. And I always looked at him and went, that man is gay. And there was nothing gay about him at the time. He was dating Jennifer Lopez, he was dating all the hot chicks. But I just always had this reaction to him. And now that everything's come out, it's like my feeling toward you was so on point from 20 years ago. Like I have not been wrong. So now with every single different person on any kind of stage, whatever feeling I get with them, I always go by that. That's just how I have to be because my gut has been correct so far. And even before I realized I had this ability or anything, it's just always been on point with people.
I get you on that because it was
Yeah.
about when did the Kardashians come out? Like 15 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay. When the Kardashians came out, I said, "Oh, this is it. We're done."
We were
Women will
close.
never be the same again. And then the Real Housewives of like Hollywood came out, the Real Housewives of whatever all these shows they made. Then those came out. I'm like, forget it. The woman, the female energy as we know it is done. That's what I said back then. I couldn't believe it. They repulsed me. I could not stand them. They made me sick.
Mm,
And that at that point in time is when I stopped watching TV. I stopped watching TV unless it was for Judge Judy.
mm-hmm,
I loved Judge Judy back in the day, but I'd watch her. That was about it. Um,
mm,
it was, it was difficult back then for me. I mean, the last 10 years I mean, especially, and as you know, I was a runner most of my life. I ran miles and miles and miles. Not most of my life, but a good 15 years of it. And I would run and I'd have my headphones and I would just scroll through YouTube anywhere I could just to find someone who made some sense to me. And that's when I found
mm,
Dolores Cannon. And she helped a lot. Yeah, she helped a lot. And then a couple of philosophers out there too I really enjoyed.
mm,
Um, but yeah, it's been, it's been a crazy journey the
mm.
last few years, especially the last 5 years. I tell people if you haven't been putting the work in the last 5 years,
Yeah, it's gonna get a lot. I think it's just gonna feel a lot heavier to your physical
Mhm,
energy
mhm.
for people, especially for people who are, naturally kind of spiritual or like to be or whatnot. If you don't catch up ASAP, it's just gonna get harder and you're gonna feel heavier because just even in our atmosphere, like we are pole shifting, so that creates a whole different atmosphere in our physical world too. And the shift and the merging of, dimensions and stuff, it's merging, and it's going to keep merging. Like, that's why people, are saying there's going to be blue beam projects that comes out, and people are going to see more UFOs in the sky, or alien stuff in the sky, and all this kind of stuff. All that kind of stuff, it does push when you see it, you know on the news or on your feed or something. When you see it, if you're not caught up, it does push your psyche, and it does do something to your energy, that if you are not receptive to how it's meant to be taken, it can be very overwhelming, and can become very, like, physically tough on your body. Like, it's the way when your vibration gets rocked a bit, your physical vibration with what you're intaking from, that's why social media can be very full on, because there's so much coming at you. And if you're not prepared for those energies, like 4D is the is this in front of us, and 4D comes with all its energies. That's how things can come out of your phone like, and affect you in your sleep. I have to be very careful with what I look at before I go to sleep, because you're playing with something like a crystal ball. So if you're not ready for those energies that are going to jump out at you from the internet and from things you're looking at, it can be very full on for your physical too. So that's why catching up with, the spiritual side of yourself and whatnot, I think it's very essential in this day and age. Maybe not so much pre 2020, but since 2020, it is. It's becoming much more essential for our physical well-being, our mental well-being, our emotional, our spiritual. Like, all of it's merging. The physical and the spiritual is merging together. And if the two are not in some kind of, you know balance with each other, they fight. And the physical does tend to feel very like, oh, you start having health issues, and you know
And then it's put on us too because we've got all these bad negative energies being created by, the anti-source
mm-hmm,
people who want to keep us stuck in these energies and these dense energies because see,
mm-hmm.
they're so dense. They can't see anything but darkness.
No.
They can't see anything. There is no light. And mind you guys, that darkness doesn't have its own energy. You
It
go into
doesn't.
a dark room, it's dark, but you spark a light and it's
Mm-hmm,
got some energy now.
mm-hmm. Correct.
So, yeah, yep. And
So if
again, it's
that
very,
darkness is
yeah.
sitting over you, you got to find a way to shine a light in it, so you
Hmm.
can start seeing
Hmm.
inside at least the darkness. Maybe see a few other faces that might help you out of the darkness. Like, just
Yep,
find something to turn on a light. Darkness
exactly.
is no fun. It's not
Mm-mm.
fun, people. It isn't. When you wake up every morning and you feel that darkness sitting over you, like, maybe shift your diet and get some of that stuff that's stuck in your intestines to move, because that's where depression sits, is in your intestines. Like, do something
Parasites.
to shift it. Yeah, do something to shift
Parasites. It's
it.
parasites. And again, you guys, that's what I do. I help people get rid of all of this dense energy. Take your foreverness, the bigger part of you that has no beginning and has no end, with your human and merging them together
Mm-hmm.
so you can begin to walk the path that you came here for and stop living a lie. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Your
And just feel
materialistic
better every
stuff
day.
is a lie, huh?
And just feel better every day. Like, wouldn't
Mm-hmm.
you just want to always be trying to feel the best you can in any way you can?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand people who choose to wake up and just be in the dark all day and just have that energy, like, and then they complain, but they don't do anything to break away or cut that cycle or create better habits. Like,
Or how about the
to
ones who
me.
do? How about the ones that you have witnessed this with me, and because you have helped me counsel a lot of people, that some of my
Mhm.
clients. What about the ones we're 5 years into this now, Anne? The ones who are singing and dancing the same dance they were doing 5 years ago. The pity
Mm-hmm.
party. Oh, woesy me. Oh, this happened to me, that happened to me, this happened to me. And they're still in the same rut that they were 5 years ago. And they've maybe made a little bit of changes in their diet, maybe a little bit, maybe. That's about it. They went and bought some crystals.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Doing that stuff isn't going to change. There's no magic fix, everyone. It does, like, there's no magic
You
fix,
have
let me
got
tell
to
you.
change the diet. You want to get
You
you want to
do.
get clairvoyance. You want to be clairvoyant, like, to the max at this point. You had to have cleared all of the shit out
Yeah.
of your diet. Because I always tell everybody, I tell my clients this, you don't have control. You don't have much control in this life of anything. You really don't.
Mm-hmm.
But you have control of what goes in your mouth and what comes
Mm-hmm.
out of your mouth.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
Yep.
That's why it's the only thing that I practice consistently every day. From the time I wake up to the time I go to sleep, every time I'm going to put something in my mouth, I think about what is it and what is it going to do to me and how's it
Is
going
it
to come out
benefiting?
the other way? Or is it just going to sit in there and fester away and clog me up or, you know,
And
everything,
I look at it, yeah, everything. I look at it and I
everything.
say, is this for my higher good? Is this
Yeah.
for my higher good? And as you know, okay, I just got to do a little celebration snap finger here, you guys. 1 year off sugar. 1 year. I
One
did
year
get
off sugar.
sugared. I did get sugared though when I went on that trip to Flagstaff through Sedona back in, I think it was in October. I got sugared. I don't like going to restaurants. If I go to restaurants, it's because it's a person, I know the person who owns the restaurant and I know where they get their food. I know where they source everything from, right? Because I care about what goes in this body
Mm-hmm.
because I love me. I love me so much. Only the best. The best of the best goes inside my body, on my body. And then it gives me the allowance to bring my best to everybody
Mm-hmm.
and to do the best for everyone else. I have very high standards. You know that. Very high standards.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I went to this restaurant. It was a Mexican restaurant of all, and I love Mexican food. I am half Mexican. I cook Mexican food, and I got the fajitas thinking I'm going to be safe because they have vegetables. Do you know what fajitas are?
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah,
Mexican food?
sort of.
Okay, yeah, there are a lot of vegetables. You can get steak or you can get pork, you get shrimp or whatever. So I figured I'd be safe with the shrimp fajitas because I'll eat a little bit of seafood. They put barbecue sauce in it.
That has
Do you know what?
sugar.
Sugar in it? Oh, I was so sick that whole weekend.
How come you get
It
so
was
sick from sugar?
hmm.
How come you get so sick from sugar?
Because sugar is low vibrating. Sugar is
Oh,
alcohol, and sugar is what's killing Americans.
yeah, yeah, for sure. I don't need much. I don't need much sugar, but every so often, like, oh, snack on like a piece of cookie, and it has a bit of sugar in it. Like, but I don't, in general, like to eat sugar. Like,
Everything in America,
it's oh, for
everything you
sure.
has sugar in it. It has sugar,
Mm-hmm.
it has gum, it has everything has a ton of preservatives. Remember, I've sent you pictures of our labels of everything that's, you remember? Oh gosh, I've sent you what's inside of our labels and everything. Um, and I'm the same way. To me, purification is everything. If I want to receive my messages and I want my channels open, I have to be purified. I've learned that. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Being purified, my gifts, my strongest gifts I have is telepathy
Mm-hmm.
and intuition. Those are my gifts. I'm psychic too at a time. I've been psychic at times. It's not my. It's becoming stronger. I can feel that growing, and it becoming better all the time. But I'm not like you who goes and has a dream and says, "Hey, guess what? We're going to have an earthquake," and boom, we have an earthquake. I only
It's
know
just,
we're going to have an earthquake because I watched the Schumann's Resonance. I'm like, "Oops, you see that down there? That little triangle means we're going to have an earthquake in 5 days," and it always has to be that,
that was a
and that,
good one. I
huh?
like that. That was a good
What?
one. that you
Yeah.
did.
Oh, when I said that one, because yeah, because the Schumann residence, they had that same little diagram on the bottom at the last new moon in the Japan, or someone had an earthquake. So I just saw the pattern. We just see the pattern of it, and then and that was a new moon. So I'm like, oh yeah, for sure, we're gonna have an earthquake. But I didn't say I did. I had a feeling it could be California, because California is only due for one, is why I would say that. But
Mm.
yeah, when I heard that California had the 7.0, I was like, oh, see,
Yeah. Interesting. So now we'll be able to tell to some degree if we start seeing some real weird patterns. I don't really look at
uh-huh.
the Schumann resonance anymore, but yeah, next time we start seeing some really weird patterns. If we start seeing really bizarre patterns, that means
They're at the bottom. You can barely, they look like little spaceships kind of fly. It's really funny. But I learned that from the solar meteorologists that I follow on YouTube. I've got two of them. I've told you, I think I've
yeah,
probably
yeah.
sent you their links. And one's spiritual, one's not. Um, so I get, you know, two experts on a different energy level, and I love both their energies.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've been helping me a lot on learning how to read these solar flares and everything else that I've been learning, because I'm just fascinated by the sun
Mm.
and what's going on. I think it's our true forecast. That's just my opinion, though.
Mm. What do you think's happening? But I always wonder this with all like more of the solar flares and
Oh,
whatnot going on.
oh,
Like what is happening? Like some people say that there's a system, a Nibiru system coming into contact with ours. And like there's so many different, we know there's a pole shift, of course, like the equator has to line back up, and people, you can read that on your compasses. Like this isn't by any degree, when we talk about the pole shift, on no, in no way shape or form is that conspiracy theory, or like do not put it in the same category. This is happening. There is people read compasses. We have an equator that is not lined up. We are shifting. We are actually shifting at a more rapid race, a rapid pace, sorry, than before. And as we go into these different degrees of where we sit in our pole shift, they will create more earthquakes. They will create more volcanoes to go off. They will create tsunamis, because when we sit like this and then we got to go and sit like that, it's going to do something to our physical planet. Like it's just the way it is. So there's nothing conspiracy theory about a pole shift. How the pole shift goes down, in my opinion, we've never gone through one in as a human race. So no one
we
can
were
say
never
for
here to have
sure.
documentations of
No,
a pole shift. This is something that's very
no.
normal. I believe it happens like every 2,000 years,
The
3,000 years.
ice age was a pole shift. So let's go ask the dinosaurs how that went down for them.
You
That's
know,
a pole shift for you. So
yeah. And Mother Gaia's energy is real, and it
it
is
is.
shifting. It is shifting.
Yes.
She is changing, and she is disposing of all the darkness that is on this planet.
Yes.
Can't, I mean, Americans, especially Americans, you
Yes.
have created a huge dark hole on this planet for Mother Gaia. Look at your plastic, Americans. Everything
Yeah.
you buy, everything you do is in plastic. You have plastic in your blood now.
I'm gonna go so far as to say the aliens came up with a really, really good plan. They went, let's let all the humans just multiply, because the aliens can't come here and destroy our planet. It's just universally they can't do that. They can't just come here and blow it up. But they can get, they I think they all sat around and they went, let's just create, let's let all the humans just have heaps of babies and populate, and then let's teach them how to destroy their own planet, and we'll destroy the planet through the humans, because we can't get it. It's our planet, but that's, the way we treat our planet, we are destroying it, and that's just all there is to it. But that's a really good plan from the aliens. They can't destroy it because it's universally wrong and they can't do it. It's against the rules. But they let the humans multiply and destroy their own planet. They taught us how to not love our own planet and how to just have no care for it and destroy it however we, throw that plastic there, or kick that animal and, you know, be horrible to a little animal. Like, yeah,
Or how
they,
about have animals be born so we can eat them?
yeah, well,
I
that's
mean,
a that's a whole nother topic. But
right? Um,
ah,
but
some people,
yeah, we do. We have this problem with plastic. But what I do believe, though, I do believe we're going to find the answers to everything. The Americans are going to wake
mm,
up. They're going to rise up, and they're going to push back, and they're going to say no more. Because when they realize that the government and the people who rule this planet are not really human, and the people who rule that, the things that rule them behind the scenes are not organic humans,
mm, mm.
they're gonna changes have to happen. They have to
I think
happen.
I think the alien subject, but is just so like such a big one for the basic person.
Yeah.
Like it
And
just
there's good ones
they
and there's bad ones. And I know there's a lot of spiritual people out there who just love the Palladians and the Arcturians and the Greys and the Ceres and all this stuff and the Lyrans. But there's good ones and there's bad ones, you guys.
yeah.
And would you know the
And the
difference
bad
with
ones
one
are
being a
down
good?
here with us. Some of them.
No, they're not. Not anymore. They're not. They have left the building.
Some of them.
Well, I'm telling you, they've left the building. They've been told that the debt call got put out and they could not pay back their energy and they had to go. And now what we're seeing happening now is the government that all the governments, all governments on this planet are part of it. Every single freaking country. Nobody is exempt from this. And they're all going to fall. I guess we
What
got to see
about the royal
American fall first.
family? Aren't they?
Huh?
What about the royal family? Like they're still walking around. Aren't they like some kind of alien species? Like they're still on this planet. They haven't been
But
wiped
they're
out.
but they're normal, regular people now. For
Humans.
any of them that are organic, if they're organic, you and I both know that the Queen Elizabeth was definitely a reptilian. We've heard that from. Come on, Lady Gaga talked about it all the time. There's many, many tapes of her talking about it. You got Princess Diana; she talked about it quite a bit. But of course, those videos were hushed and put away. But they are now pretty viral. So, we will
Isn't it
find out that, huh?
isn't it interesting too when there's that audio? Have you ever seen it when the queen died and they picked up some weird audio and it was like some woman talking and she's like, the soul has been trapped. The soul can no longer um like transfer, and then the audio shut down. But I thought that was real strange. It's like, oh, what does that mean? Does that mean like she died and like before they could like transfer the soul into another human and then that one gets born? But yeah, like does that mean like the soul's been trapped because that's finished for her? Like she's dead, she's gone. The reptilian is no longer being able to transfer its soul, like that soul into the
Well,
next.
it depends on what type of demon they are and what bloodline they come from and who they're, the Black Sun, you've got the reptilians, you've got all different bloodlines of different demons, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Ones that we've never even heard of, Anne. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, way, way up there that control them, all the way to the saints. We've got
Mm-hmm.
Saint Germain. I haven't spoken of this, but he was one heck of a demon. He's the one who's in charge of that money, the RV and the dong and all that stuff. He's all part of that stuff. And but this has to come out. This is information that a lot of people have not heard before because I
Mm-hmm.
haven't really talked about. Nobody
So
does.
does that mean that human bloodline that we're seeing manifest and be a human being in front of us, does that mean that they have a DNA that comes right back from with a demon that's like how
These
the Golden
super
Ages
dark,
were?
dark humans that we just don't want to, they're just dark, is because they
Yeah,
come from these dark bloodlines and they choose,
yeah,
the darkness. It's their choice of what and they can't see light. They
yeah.
just can't
No,
see it.
because
They
then they
can't see
just
it.
return back to where that soul is like coming from. That DNA, like that DNA would only have certain souls or energies that go into them, wouldn't it?
Right.
Is
And
that how that works?
And what the higher the density, like if they're density 6, 7, if they come from that realm of density as six,
Yeah.
7, the more powerful they are. Now I
Yeah.
know that the 7 and 8, because I was just shown this not too long ago, the dramatic tribes, they actually could steal your soul. They were so high up there, with Lucifer and stuff, they could steal your soul. They could um move your soul to somewhere else. That, see,
Hmm.
it's all based on what level of density they're coming from, of how much power they have.
Hmm.
So yeah, I mean,
And it just goes into that same, so the human that's being born that has
mhm,
that DNA in it, the
mhm,
spirit can then transfer the energy or whatever, will transfer specifically into that human that's been created, because it has that DNA in it that will
mhm.
match with the energy that's being, is that how, is that,
Where was the soul? It's all based on where the soul was originated from.
yeah, exactly.
Mhm,
Hmm.
mhm,
Is
mhm.
that why they do like rituals and stuff for like babies getting born and whatnot in those?
They do rituals
Yeah.
because they're told to by the higher ups, the aliens or demons or whatever it is that controls them. That AI who put that information in there to control them like that tells them to do it just because. There's no
Oh,
reason, there's
okay.
no rhyme to
Oh,
it. No, let's just see how evil we can get our bloodline to go.
okay.
So these rituals don't mean jack stuff shit except
Okay.
for they're killing and torturing innocent people. It's
Mhm.
just sick. It's downright disgusting. They're the worst of the worst humans who do this stuff and sacrifice and eat humans, especially babies. I
Mhm.
mean, they just did it because they felt that because they were told, well, if you do this and this, I'll make you rich.
Mhm.
I'll put that
Yeah.
money in your account. I'll get it right straight to your account. Oh, oh, you'll become president. Oh,
Yeah.
and there is no such thing as a presidency. It's a selection, not a presidency.
Mhm.
Um, Always has been a selection. Um, so yeah, it's really crazy the way that it gets when when we start talking what's behind the scenes of what everyone is seeing.
Mhm.
It's a lot
Yeah.
more than just the reptilians being in charge.
Mm.
There's
No.
someone in charge behind them. Yeah, and
Yes.
behind them and
Yes.
behind them until you
Yes.
get all the way to the top demon.
Yeah.
Um, and there's 100 of them, about a
Yeah.
hundred of them, I would
Yeah.
say.
Oh, it goes so
So
deep.
So it's so deep. And then this is what gets me, okay? In the governments, they all hate each other. The Democrats, they really hate each other. The Republicans really hate each other. And there's all these different bloodlines. There's the blue bloodline, there's a red bloodline, there's a white bloodline, there's a purple bloodline, there's a silver bloodline. They all have this bloodline and eagle that represents them of
Hmm.
their color. And they all hate each other. But then all of a sudden, when they need something from the masses and they need to harness our energy, they all get together like they like each other. Because trust me, Trump and Yo Ho Head, Elon Musk, weirdo from weirdos, they don't like each other. They come from different blood. One is,
Definitely.
Trump is with his operatives, which I was told was the space. It's oh, what is it? He's with the Space Force, and that's who, he's controlled by. And then you've got, yeah, Elon Musk, who's from some other bloodlines, from some draconian, you know what I mean? And
Hmm.
yeah, but they'll get together. No, pretend like, what do you
Oh,
call that? What do you
they,
call that when you get together and you really can't stand each other, but you pretend to like each other? What is that called?
I don't know, a fake relationship. I think they just help each other with each other's agendas. I feel like
No, they
that's how
don't even
people.
do that. They don't even do that. No, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
because they can only see their agenda. This is what, okay, I am not kidding. I am not joking. This is what I've been seeing, you guys. This is what I have seen through telepathy, because that's my gift, is they're all here to take over the world.
Hmm.
and to destroy the human race. That
Hmm.
is, they just, and this is how Elon Musk has lost his freaking marbles because he doesn't even want to take over the world anymore. He's actually thinks he's taken over the whole entire galaxy.
Space. Yeah. I don't really watch Elon. I don't know anything about Elon Musk. I don't. Like, I don't watch him. I don't follow him. I don't. I only know what people tell me.
Did
But
you know his dad had two babies by his stepdaughter?
uh, that's very strange. But you know what's so weird about Elon Musk? Like, even when I look at pictures of him with his family, I always like looked at it. Like, this was even before I was like awake or had my big like where I understood reading energy and stuff. Like, I'm talking about right back from when he first went to America and he was with Amber Heard, and I could see this guy and he was like getting into Hollywood. He always had a very strange energy for me. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I always like was like, I don't know, I felt a strange fear with him, but I couldn't explain it. But I just felt like like scared, like as a woman. Like, I don't know, it was very strange. But when when the internet and we saw pictures of him with his family on Instagram and stuff, it felt staged. I used to always look at it and think, oh, they just found some randoms to be his parents, and they just made him look like that's part of his family. He looked like not part of anything. He looked so foreign to everything. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like almost looked at him as like he doesn't have parents. He doesn't have brothers and sisters. He's just Elon Musk. And then when I'd see pictures with him and his family, it was like looking at a bunch of robots together. It's a really strange energy I get with Elon
I
Musk. And
know that's what.
I
Yeah,
can't explain
same
him.
here. I just got a really weird. Yeah,
Like, when you talk
he
about his
came here
dad,
to be
even,
like
it's
he
like,
was supposed to be. He's like supposed to be like I don't want to call him the Antichrist, but let's just say like that type of a, I guess, because he's going to save the world because he's got all this. He's bringing Tesla back, you know. And then when someone claims, we all know that Tesla's information was stolen. Not all of it, but most of it was stolen. And for him to make these claims that he made way back in the day, I just was like, no, you don't compare yourself to Tesla because you are not human. He doesn't even look
no,
human.
he doesn't. He doesn't.
Uh-uh.
He doesn't.
He's
And
not human.
I'm gonna say this very, very, like, I'm gonna stand in this about Elon Musk. I'm gonna say it straight from the get go. In 2020, I had like the most craziest when COVID happened. I just got like this crazy amount of like psychic shit that came at me, and I heard what was gonna come with COVID and vaccinate, and I heard it all.
Yeah.
But in amongst all of the stuff I was hearing, what was coming for us, I heard Elon Musk is the Antichrist, and I know when I is my thought, and I know when it is something being strange in my face. But the weirdest thing about it is I actually thought everybody could hear it. I thought everybody was receiving this download. And I was telling my parents, I was telling my friends, and I'm like talking to them like Elon Musk the anti, and people were looking at me real strange. I'm like,
Oh
can't
yeah,
you see that?
that's when you know that there's something different about you because you would say things and people will look
Yeah.
at you like
People
you
look
are
at me.
weird. You don't
Yeah.
say that out loud. And
Yeah.
it's true though, Ann, because back in the day, 10 years ago, if we did this live right now, we'd have men in black suits at our door. You're coming with us, girls. It's true. It is true.
Or we'd
Things
have
have
family
changed a
trying to hand
lot.
us in.
Huh?
Or we'd have family trying to hand us in. That would be,
Yes, yeah,
she's having a
exactly.
psychotic melt breakdown. But hey, nothing I say is gospel. It's just, it can be up for discussion. It's just things that I find
Hey,
interesting that I hear spoken about.
exactly.
And I will never be the person who says, this is what you should believe in. Everyone,
No.
each to their own, what works for you. But I think we should be able to talk about it and not be
Yes.
deemed crazy, because there's so much information out there. And I think people, some things they really, I saw one guy on TV in America, he's on one of the reality shows, and he's running around saying to people that pandas aren't real, that pandas are men in are people are are men in panda suits, and he dead set believes this, like as a conspiracy theory. That's whack. But like, people are out there believing so many different things or wondering what is different things. So I think if we can speak about it, it'll help ease people's
They're very
minds.
lost.
And
Yeah,
yeah.
they're very lost. That's what I see a lot. This is what I do for a living, you guys. I help people. I help people stop being lost and get out of the lies out there. Stop living the lie.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about materialistic things. Life is not about materialistic things. It's about having experiences and love.
Mm-hmm.
Love, love, love.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
And you know
yeah.
what? Those materialistic things, we've come to a part in our reality where it's kind of stopped. We have been given so much. We've been given so much. Look at our movies, look at our music. They're running out. They're running out of things to entertain you with that's really gonna get you. There's been no decent movies, there's been no decent artists, there's been no decent music because it's running out. Like the energy for that source and for them to keep sucking and creating the stuff for our entertainment, it's running this, their source is really running low, like they're grasping
They're
at
anti-source.
straws.
Yeah, they're running. Yeah, and they
They
keep
are.
repeating everything because, again, let's talk
And
about
it's,
we're going into the new earth, you guys. We're going into the
yes,
new energies. These
yes,
old energies that we've been dealing with and doing, that I guess they got Moana coming out again, another
yeah.
Moana. They've got, another, all these movies that have already been out. Oh, it looks like we
And
got some. Can you see the comments that are coming in?
no,
Okay, you can't see the comments on your phone? Oh.
no, it's
Be
okay. We can.
open-minded. To you, Dina, that's love and our circle big time. Okay, Lori McGee, she's a very important person. She was my sister-in-law's best friend. I was talking to you about Lori yesterday. I think I
We
was telling you
were,
about Lori.
no,
So
this
she just
morning.
yeah, this morning I was telling Lori, I was
Right.
talking about you this morning. Anyways, she just made that comment, and yeah, Lori, it's all about love, and I think especially for people I've Lori knows she's been part of every funeral that I've been to, for the last, what, 3.5 years. We've lost seven people on that side of the family. So, it's all about love. And like I said, the basic American, that's all they really want. The
Mm-hmm.
basic human, I mean, let me take that back. The basic human just wants love and a safe place to lay their head and a good meal and to be more with their family and not work so much. Well, I mean, we're workers, we like to work, but not like we're working now. For what? To have a bunch of materialistic stuff that really doesn't matter?
No,
Mm-mm,
that does not connect with the heart chakra. It makes you
mm-mm.
excited for a moment, but it does not. If it doesn't get the heart chakra, people, it's not gonna last. Like it, even a friendship. If a friendship that doesn't get your heart chakra, it doesn't last. Like for nowadays, something has to feel inside you, and it will become, I think, intensify more as time goes on, where we will have to connect to real things. Even an animal, like, connecting to an animal will help turn on your heart chakra. Just things that make you truly feel true
Ye-
love and
They feel,
alive.
yeah, and it fills
Like,
your cup up. You're just like, oh my
yes,
gosh, that feels so good.
yes.
That's
That's what
how
a
I
baby
feel.
does. That's when you have a baby. That's what that big, huge jolt that you feel. That's just your heart chakra getting full turned on by this little creature that's a part of you, that you wake up every morning, and as much as it's cried or pooped or sucked on your tit and made it bleed, you wake up and you have this immense love and excitement to interact with it because your heart chakra just got turned on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like those
Well,
things that,
yeah, and people can feel this the same. Men can feel it, even because men, they feel it too with their children like that too. I know they do.
yeah.
But people who
Oh, for
don't have children,
sure.
when you have an animal, when you have your
Animals.
animal, and you
Yep.
can't wait to, you want to feed it, you want to make sure it's taken care of before you go to
Yep.
work. You make sure it's safe. You make sure, whatever you need to do for those animals, you do out of love, or you
Yep.
rescue them, you take them, you rescue them, you
Yep.
love them. And that
Yep.
is gratifying right there. That's doing mother's work. For those
Yep.
women out there who did not have children, it's because most likely you probably rescue animals. That's what I see. A lot of women who
Yep.
don't have
Any.
children usually have a lot of animals because you're put here for mother to help rescue her
Yep.
animals
Yep. Or even a plant, or even a garden.
or a
If you
plant or
you
anything live that has God's,
anything.
anything quantum. When I say quantum, that is God's energy, love.
100%. Get a
Yep.
plant, fall in love with the plant. It's so beautiful, and water it all the time and show it that you love it. And you watch that plant. Like I give my plants filtered water, and I just know this from giving them filtered water to tap water. Like, and I talk to them and I tell them this is why I'm giving them this water because it's cleaner for them. And my plants are super green and luscious, and everyone always comments on it. But before any of this, I would kill plants. But anything that like you put love into that's alive, you watch the way it flourishes and you see that love come out of them. Like anything. And
Did you know they can feel it? Do you know they know when
yes,
that their owner is coming to them? They know, oh, there's my owner. That's the one that seated me. Oh, there's my own. They get really
yes.
happy.
I can talk
And
to my plants.
I sing to mine. I
Sometimes my
dance to
plants
mine.
will bang me, but will like hit me as I'm walking past, or drop water or splash water. I'll get water splashed from somewhere, and I'll look down and the leaves have water, yet I didn't water them the night. Like, it's so weird, but I full interact with my plants. I know it probably sounds crazy, but I'm telling you, I interact with my plants.
No, it's not
Kiss
crazy.
them.
I, I told you, I can hear my plants. I can hear my plants. I had my peace lily, my beautiful peace lily. I used to put pictures of it when she would, remember the one that would bloom, the big white,
Mm-hmm.
it's called the peace lily. Well,
Mm-hmm.
one day I was sitting next to her and I'm looking at her. I'm like, you're not looking so good, Mamacita. What's going on over there, Mama?
Mm-hmm.
And I swear this is what she said. Your cat peed in me. I go,
So cute.
what? I got down on my hands and knees. I pulled the soil and I smelled it. And Katie, I kid you not, Jewel Moon
She
peed in
peed.
her.
Yeah, they don't like that much.
No, no, she's still around. She's hanging on. So I started putting my pee on
Oh,
her.
did that help? Yeah,
It is
human pee
helping.
doesn't really kill
It is.
plants, does it? But um, cat piss does. Cat pee sure kills the
Yeah,
plant.
it's just a lot of they have a lot of pneumonia in their urine.
Yeah,
Once a cat, once a cat pees on something, you got to throw it away. And you can talk to any cat lover; they will tell you,
yeah,
"Yep,
yeah.
if they pee on it, it's gone, sister.
It's gone. It
Get
is.
rid of it."
You want to make sure your cat has good toilet habits. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't have plants where the cat can pee in because she destroys it
Yeah.
all. I tried to do a herb garden and she just destroyed it with her
Oh,
pee.
no. Okay, so I don't. Jewel Moon's trained. I got her as a kitten. This is why Jewel Moon peed in my plant, though. I left her alone inside the facility. I took off and went probably to go hiking or go watch a sunset, and then probably went to the store or something, and I was gone. I know exactly. I know exactly what day it was. She wasn't happy with me leaving. She's just at that time was just a kitten. She didn't know, so she just said, "Fine, I'll go pee in this plant."
They do that. I just
They
had a cat
know
that would
you.
jump up and pee on my pillow when I'd go out. It's disgusting. It smells horrible.
Oh yeah, it is really strong. It's real strong,
Ugh.
but yeah,
Oh,
no,
that's
they
funny.
they had their energy. They have an energy to them. They don't have an ego like we do. And you were talking a little bit earlier and about talking about humans, how you noticed how humans talk above each other. That's what I call one-upping. We're always trying to one up each other when we're in the materialistic world, when we're in the
Mm-hmm.
matrix, and we're trying to keep up with the Joneses, I guess you can say.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to
Mm-hmm.
one up each other constantly instead of focusing on what's really matters in life.
Mm-hmm.
That's your health, that's your
Mm-hmm.
being. And
Mm-hmm.
no, it's not. You are not being conceited in any shape or form when you love yourself, when you love all of this. That's not being conceited.
No.
That's being a smart person.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Mhm.
Correct.
So
I'll go one step further and say you're a loving God. because when you love yourself, because for me personally, and I this is my thing when people talk about God, for me, God is mother. God is mother because that is our creator. And you can be I'm not talking about spirits. Maybe we come from many different
We
dimensions or
come
planets.
from
And
the dirt. We come from the
yes,
dirt, is what Anne is saying.
if
We
you
come
are in
from the
human
dirt, people.
form, that is your creator. That is your
Your
first.
beginning, yeah,
Yes.
this right here, your meat sack,
Yeah.
your beginning and your end comes from mother. You are
Yes.
more microbiome than you are microbiome cells than you are human cells. And that is a fact.
Yes. So we are
So
our first creator in a human body is mother. So for
comes
me,
from
if I'm
mother.
going to look for, yes, so I'm using one of her bodysuits as my experience in this reality, in this whatever it is. So that's my first,
That's a
like,
gift.
that's
That
my
is a
God.
gift. That is your
Yes.
gift, yeah. And that is the God and with inside. And that is your gift. And what do you do with a gift when someone gives you a gift,
You
Anne?
take care of it.
Yeah,
You
you
take
love
care of
it. You
it. And when you take
appreciate it.
and if God is mother and we are mother, that's why when they say you are God, we are God because we are in this human form, which makes
And
us
we're
God having an
creators.
experience. Exactly. And that's why when you start to become more spiritual and stuff, you want to go outside, you want to hug a tree, you want to be in nature, you want to be with animals because that's your godlike state, wanting to go back to and return to source and return to where it's most comfortable and has peace with mother. You want to return to those things that you're supposed to be. you know when we're born, we're just from the get-go, we are conditioned to cut the connection with source, with our creator, with mother earth,
Well,
and
because
to
religion
not.
comes in. Religion tells you what to do, what to believe. The schools tell you what to do and what to believe. Because the
Mhm.
schools, I believe in America, um, we go to school to be conditioned to be great
Yes.
consumers, to spend
Yes.
money, but not,
100%.
but don't never taught how to make it. How no, but how to
Hmm.
spend it and where to spend it.
Hmm. The matrix is just created to feed the human ego. That is all it's created for, is to feed. That's why America has got so many problems, because they are like to a whole nother level, where it's feed the ego from the second you're born, like become a superstar, figure out who, all this kind of bullshit. But we're conditioned to feed the, like, everything we get given in our, from when we're young to, even to the country you grew up in, that's your ego. Like, I grew up in this country because I grew up in that country. I'm cool. Like, that's why people don't like Americans a lot of the time, because they have this attitude of like, everyone loves Americans. I grew up in America, so whereas the rest of the world is going, wait, we don't love America so much. You guys are looking pretty stupid at the moment. But they created you guys to think that
And do
about
this,
yourselves.
explain what the ego is, because I'm going to tell you something right now, and I'm going to say there's a huge majority. Well, there's a big group of Americans. They don't understand what ego is. They don't
Mhm.
understand what that means. They don't get what is ego. Most of them don't know what an
Ego's
ego is.
ego's a huge. I think ego is a very huge subject and topic, and breaking down an ego is like, when people come to you and say, "Oh, I have no ego." You should have ego. You should have your own ego, but you should understand it. You should know what you're built on. You should know who you are. You should have, but you shouldn't. An ego. The problem with nowadays ego is most of it is very insincere and it's fake. And when that comes tumbling down about yourself, that's when people fall apart, because people will build their egos off of what school they went to, or who they know in society, or what parties they get to go to, or who they're dating. And those are all parts of a
What they're
person's human.
driving, what their
Yes,
house
what
looks
they're
like. Your
driving, how
ego,
much
yeah,
money.
the ego mind is the because it's a real thing, you guys. You got the devil and you got the angel. It's a
Mm-hmm,
real war. There's a real war going inside of you. That's the number one war. Not only is there a
mm-hmm,
war going on with the light and the darkness, outside, these energies, which is real, but the real war is inside of you.
Yeah, for
And the
sure.
ego mind is the part that tells you, oh, it's okay, have that drink. It ain't going to hurt you.
Yeah,
That's the
that's
ego
why.
mind.
But that's why rich people are such assholes, because their ego's built on, I've got so much fucking money. Like, you meet a rich person, very rarely are you going to come away from that rich person and go, fuck, they were such a nice person. You're going to come away going, that is one disgusting human being. You're going to be so disgusted with what you just interacted with, because they built a full ego on, I can treat people however I want because I
I
have all
want,
the money in the
however I
world.
want.
And they become
And,
disgusting people.
yep.
Like,
When they go into a restaurant, they better get top service. You better know who they are. You
yeah.
know, I was in the
And their
serving
ego
business. I was a
stinks.
bartender for 28 years. I saw this a lot in the business. And it's all ego. And then they treat their servers like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think this is all around the world, though. I really
Yes.
do.
Oh,
I
for sure.
people, they treat their servants like in Hong Kong. I know a lot of people in Hong Kong have a lot of
Mm-hmm.
servants, and they treat them like dirt, and
Yes.
so do their children.
Yes.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't they? Like, it's much easier, I think, for most people to be rude to people. Like, I think the society has created it to where it's actually easier to be a shit person. Like, we're so
exactly.
overcrowded, we're so like, just, there's so much, like, and it's just, oh, like, life in full true honesty, what they've created in this matrix isn't really that exciting. So, it put you in a bit of a bad mood. So I guess when you're rich and you realize all that, but you got all this money, it's like, well, I'll just be a fucking asshole then. Like, they become so out of touch with their chakras and their senses. All they got is money and ego. Imagine if all that money disappeared from their lives. Imagine where that
Oh
human
no, no,
being
no,
would
no.
end
This is
up.
what I always say. Let's just all get naked in one room. Let's all get naked in one room, and we're all the same. We're
Mm-hmm.
all the same. And shame on them for not sharing their abundance. Well, hopefully some
Mm-hmm.
of them do. I'm not, some of them do, because that's not the way it's supposed to be. We're supposed to share our abundance. And what we are here in America, our culture, our culture is based on narcissistic
Mm-hmm.
values and
Mm-hmm.
gaslighting. That
One
is
hundred
what
percent.
the American culture has. That's where we've landed. That is where we've landed in the last. I'd probably say the last 20, 30 years. Started in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and now look at we're here in 2000 and going on 2025, and it's all about being narcissistic, gaslighting. Um, Listen to
Mm-hmm.
the way that people talk to each other, especially when they've been married for so long, or they're just
Mm-hmm.
together. It's like it's gross. It's really
Mm-hmm.
gross.
Mm. I
Mhm.
know.
Mhm.
It's
Yep.
true. Most
Yep.
most most like relationships and whatnot, marriages that you see, you're like, why are they together? It is. People talk to each other horribly. It's
Horrible.
horrible. I know.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You shouldn't treat each other like that. I don't agree
Or
with it. I
family members,
used
how
to.
family members talk to each other,
Yeah.
brothers,
Yeah.
sisters, everyone. They just, they treat each other really, really terrible. But that is what America has been trained to do, to have that it's
Mm.
okay to do this to each
Yeah.
other. Or how about you have no idea how many people I counsel and they don't talk to their parents, they don't talk to their siblings.
Mm.
And some of their excuses is, I set the boundaries. I set those boundaries. And I say that's fine. You can love them from far away. That is fine. There's nothing wrong with loving your family members from far away. But what really heals your heart is when you can forgive them.
Mm. For
And
sure.
you can sit in front of them, or actually you can go to a Christmas party, a family Christmas party with them. That's when that's what I call rising above.
What about what about if you have family members that they have done some like horrible things, like not even just to you, but like to other people in your family that you love, like say your grandmother or your dad, or You know, people that like are very close to you, and you watch them hurt them, and then you've grown up and you've witnessed it, and then you see that they're just still the same person. What do you do about those people, Bud?
I
Because
deal
if
with
I was
that,
in a
Ann.
room with them, I would say some really poisonous things, but I feel like they'd be very fitting to them. Like, to where I don't want to be in a room with them because
I
it's like
deal
I
with that.
know my
I
mouth will
have I
spew this
deal with
venom.
that with family members.
That's a tricky one because,
You just love them for where they're at. You love them for where they're at. Their journey is their journey. No
yeah,
judgment. But
no,
I ain't spending any extra time with them. I'm not gonna,
no.
and I don't preach to them. I don't say anything. If they come to me for advice, that's a different thing. But I don't talk about, I try not to. Even though my brother told me the other day, he goes, "You got to answer for everything."
I'm the same. I like to have an answer for everything. Until
I
I
love my
don't, then
brother.
I just feel really
He's
quiet.
so funny. He's so not esoteric at all, but man, he does. He's got some gifts, man. I'm just like, whoop, there you go. And we are from the same mom and same dad. So it's funny to watch him because he wants nothing to do with any of this. He doesn't. He really doesn't. He's a funny character. He's quite the opposite of me. But he enjoys it though. He likes listening to me and hearing me. He's pretty, when he feels like being in tune. But yeah, he said that to me the other day, and I'm like, well, because I do my research. Hello,
It's
I'm
true.
tapped in, and he's just like, yeah, no, it's good. He goes, your mind must be completely at peace. I'm like,
It
it
is
is,
fun. I
it
feel like
is.
mine is for the most part. Like I think
Oh yeah,
back to prior 5 years to now, and it's like my mind is very quiet. Like I have a lot of thoughts, and I'm constantly like hearing, like down, like not audible hearing, but like I'm constantly feeling things. And what I listen to a lot of music, so when I listen to the music, things will pop into my head. But I don't have a busy mind. I never, like I
you're
think
out of
back.
fight and flight. That's when you're in fight and flight. When
Mm,
you're in fight and flight, you got the default magnetism part of your brain that is right next to your pineal gland that goes all the time. And that's what probably 90% of Americans suffer from. That's a flight and fight, and they're in survival mode. It's what I call survival
mm,
mode all the time. And when you hush that down, when you quiet that down, it's what I like to call no mind. I'm in no mind. I have no thoughts. I don't think about anything. I just live in the
mm,
present moment. What goes goes. And I mean, yes, I'm responsible, and I know I got to pay my rent every on the first of the month, and I got to do
yeah.
this, and I got to do that. Of course, I got to come out, and I got to be responsible. Like that's all there. But once you shush that down and you get that out, and you come home to your true self, who you truly are, that hushes down, and then you're able to receive all your messages because all your channels are
Mm,
open, and you're detoxed, you're purified. You're
mm,
off of all the attachments. You don't have an attachment to anything. You don't have to have nothing to be able to function as a happy, healthy, loving being that you are.
mm,
But
mm.
this is all the work. This is the work of spiritual. This is the work that spirituality people have to put in to get to that level. Again, I don't like the word spiritual, and I like the word esoteric. Um, it's
That's a good
better.
word.
It's a better
Yeah,
word, a better
I like
term,
that better
because you
too.
got your spiritual people and you got your esoteric people.
Yeah.
Take it for
And
what
I
it
think
is, people.
it's funny because when you asked me to write something down, the only thing I could hear to bring to this whole thing today was what is spiritual. So it's funny that you keep, like, that's what you keep saying, like we keep getting back to all this spiritual esoteric. But no, I agree with that because I think esoteric people, we are not so much spiritual, or we may not practice it, but it's like it's just part of you. Like when I think back to my earliest childhood memories, I was just always very, very into, even if it was like something like I would hear in the morning, your mom's going to get you earrings today. And at night, my mom would be giving me earrings, and I'd be like, oh my God, I heard that. Like, and I'd be 7 years old. I think back to things like that, or even dreams I had as a child, or nightmares that later on happened in my life that I've gone, what the hell? Did someone watch my dreams and now they're playing a trick on me? Like, what's this crap? So like I just always had
Oh,
the
it's so
sides of me.
confusing. I know. I
It's
know.
very hard. And
I started as now mine was at 7 or 8. Mine started one with well, my dad was killed when I was a child, when I was 3 years old, and have always been able to hear him talk to me. I've been able to hear angels since I was 7 or 8. I don't know exactly if I was in first or second grade, and I didn't quite understand it at the time. I would repeat what the angels would say to me. I would talk to my grandma about it and stuff, and then you know, I was abducted when I was about 7 or 8. I had a spaceship come down to my soccer field at my high school where I went to high school, and a spaceship came, and I don't know what happened, but I know that spaceship came, and all I know is I was turned the other way on my big wheel, and something was pushing me. I had my hands and my feet like this. I'm like, I'm never going to forget this. I'm never going to forget this. And it was literally pushing me all the way home. So
that's
I've
crazy.
had, I know
I've
it's so
had
crazy.
I had one alien experience. I've had a couple, but I had one alien experience. Like I don't know. I believe whatever people experience to be what it is. The only thing I ever experienced was in 2020. I woke. I have crazy dreams, but I had this one dream, and it wasn't really. It felt like I was in my bed, and I was lying there, and I could see like maybe 3 to 4 men in suits, like what looked like, but they were in those white, like medical, where they're all like zipped up, and they had a big, massive probe or something down into my like, right up into my cervix and my gut, and I could just see them at the end of my bed as I was lying there, just sleeping and like pinned to my bed, and they're doing something. But as I woke up out of this experience, I felt as if like this suction happened, like from deep inside my stomach, and it like felt like it was suctioning out. And when I woke up, everything was gone, but I had the worst pain. Like I cannot describe how painful it was. It was like 10 knives deep inside my middle of my stomach, just all stabbing me at once. And I couldn't get out of bed for 3 solid hours. Like it was so painful, so painful. But that was the only experience I had that felt alien like. I kind of was never the same after that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, it's
it
an
hurt.
experience I had and then I had another experience again, as you know, in 2020. I was abducted again, and
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
so
And you
yeah,
woke
that's
up with
my
things in your computer.
put it all out there. Why not?
No, well, I don't know, because I personally I don't believe in it. Well, I don't not believe it. I believe that all that, like whatever we think, it's more than what we can even comprehend. So that's what I will always say to whether it's angels, demons, aliens, like whatever you think, know that it's more than what you're even comprehending. But back in 2020, I like did never thought of aliens, didn't really care. It was just all kind of Hollywood shit to me. But some of the experience I experienced made me go, is there something happening to us? Like, especially since 2020. Like, I feel like a lot of people are starting to have these really crazy alien like experiences. And I think we need to look at it more than just, oh, they're crazy. Like, it's time to start going, maybe there is something happening. Maybe people are having these experiences and they're real, because people are changing after them. People are coming out. Like, my whole personality changed since 2020 from
Oh,
everything I experienced. Like,
and you're not
and
even the same person you were 2 years ago.
no, I have changed so much.
So
Like,
much, so
yeah, for
much. Yeah,
sure. And even like the way
especially
I,
like with all the stuff you were putting on your hair and all the
yeah, oh yeah,
makeup and all the stuff you were doing, and you,
fumes.
mm-hmm,
Mhm.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah. I love to spray perfume. Like my biggest vice is perfume. I just love to smell good. And I always get it and I like spray it right behind there, like so much. But it's funny with my blockages, they're some of the worst spots where they got to do a lot of work on, and I get stuck in my jaw and stuff. So I like, now when I spray perfume, I like try and put the hair up and spray it into the hair strands so it doesn't touch the skin, because there's so many toxins in perfume. Like, it's so bad.
I've never
And they're
worn perfume.
and they're the worst toxins. And apparently, the better the smell is, the worse the toxins are in it. And I'm always trying to rid my
Who
body because I
creates the
have so much
perfumes?
buildup.
Who
Yeah.
creates the perfumes? And who are they
The
named after?
the all the what do you call them? The brand names and stuff, the fancier
Uh-huh.
ones. Yeah.
All the
They all come
Hollywood and
from that.
athletes and yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I did like
The
though,
dark
I don't know if you
forces.
do you guys have Bath and Body Works in Australia?
I think we do bed and bath or something. I don't know. I don't really buy that stuff much anymore. I'm really
I
basic
used
with
to.
what I.
That was the stuff I liked. I liked rain kissed leaves, which smelled like it smelled like after it rains, it smelled really
Yeah.
good. But still, it was full of chemicals, and I'd spray
Yeah.
myself. But those were
Yeah.
the I never could go and get me a bottle of perfume. If I did, I end up giving it away because I'd get instant headaches. That smell would
Yeah.
just make me sick.
Some. Yeah. A
And
lot do
colognes,
that.
colognes are the same way too with me.
Mhm. You know, it's really, really bad that people should stop doing is putting um, deodorant, supermarket deodorant, especially the spray ones, under their arms. It is so bad, people. Please stop doing it and trade it in for a natural deodorant because I
Anti
go through, well, I go through a lot of lymphatic stuff and I have a lot of buildup of toxins from things that have happened in my life under your arms, from what I'm experiencing, is such a very like it really absorbs stuff
It's a
into your
lymphatic
lymphatic
system. You
system.
got your
It
lymphatic
is.
system under there.
And you
Yes.
want to be draining that lymph right under there. You want to be draining that as much as you
Hmm.
can, not filling it up with more horrible. The supermarket deodorants are horrible. When I put any of
Horrible.
that stuff under my arm gets the worst BO that I
They're full
cannot
of heavy
explain.
metals. It's
They
full of heavy
are.
metals.
They
And your
are.
arm, and the one thing I want to tell you guys is if your armpit is not a pit, that's why they call it an armpit. If it's not
Mm-hmm.
a pit and it's a puff, you've got some
Mm-hmm.
problems going on. That is where
Mm-hmm.
breast cancer starts. I do believe
Mm-hmm.
it is
It
from
does.
it's from the lymphatic system. You have got to get off the deodorants. Myself, you guys, I do have a product to help you with this. I've got it's called my New Soul Oil. I put that all over my body. I massage my armpits every
Yeah.
morning. I
Same.
massage my whole lymphatic system. I have this whole
Yeah.
routine because I love myself. And
Mm-hmm.
I do that, and then I have a magnesium spray. I'm actually going to send you a magnesium spray in your package that I'm getting to you is going to
Mm-hmm.
have my magnesium spray, and then I spray my magnesium spray under my arms, and it is working. I love it. I'm
Oh,
like, oh,
send me
this is
that.
so. Yeah, and it's made with my lavender. As everyone knows, anyone who knows me, I grow as much of my products as I can. If not, I work with many growers, and I buy
Mm-hmm.
from them because there are just certain things that I can't grow here in Arizona, and I do work with all kinds of growers from all over the world and all over the United States for fungus and for plants. So it is my lavender moon spray, and it is from my own lavender that I grew, and it smells so good. And then, of course,
That's
I didn't grow. Yeah, I didn't grow
awesome.
the magnesium, but I got the magnesium from a very reliable source.
Mm-hmm.
Again, if I won't put it on my body, I'm not gonna give it out to you guys. I try everything first before anything goes out on my website or on my floor inside my storefront. And again, if you guys want to see my products, you guys can go to elevatedbyclaudine.com and you can look at my products there. And if you're local here in the Valley, you can come to my store and my healing facility that's located at 4330 West Union Hills Drive in Glendale, Arizona. And you can call me during business hours. Like I said, go to my website. All my information is there. And my phone number is 623-225-7200. If you call me during business hours and make an appointment, I have all kinds of services. I do have Ann on my website under services. She's under the services. If you go to the website, go to services, you will see Ann there, and you can book an appointment with her and get a reading from her. And so you guys go ahead and go to the website if you want more information on what we do. And like I said, I do have products, and I do have all kinds of services that we both do. um, as these lives go, we continue. These lives are gonna we want to try and be here every Monday at 5:22 to 7:22. and that is Arizona time, you guys. So we don't have daylight savings or anything. I don't know if you want to go ahead and talk a little bit about what time it is there for you in Australia, but I
Mm,
don't know if the Australian people are watching us because are we live on your Facebook right now?
I don't think so.
Okay. Did you want to go live on your Facebook?
I don't know how to do it.
I
We'll do
know.
it
Okay. So you
another
guys,
time.
we'll figure it out, you guys. We're figuring out a lot. I am learning to be. I hate to put labels on myself, you guys. Like saying I'm going to be a creator. I am a creator because I come from the master creator. But this creator content stuff, I just want to say that I'm learning how to use these restream, Streamlabs, these streaming programs I have, just so that we can come to you guys with a better audio and a better performance. That's what I feel that we get when we use these other apps. Going live just on Facebook, you can't use other outlets. With these type of streaming apps that we use, we can go live. I can go live on other, just not Facebook. I can do Instagram, YouTube, all of my outlets I have out there. And Anne is coming to us from her phone. So we don't
Mhm.
know how to get her live on her page yet because we don't know how to work it from the phone. I come live from my laptop and then I have my phone here. So
Mm.
just bear with us. I will learn this. We're super excited that we got this live to go on today, you guys. This has been in the making for months. I had to learn
Yes.
this. It took a while. But we're here. I will learn how to do this even better and better and better. But again, you guys, we need you guys to like, love, share, and comment so we can see who's watching, okay?
Hmm.
Um, if we
And
resonate
also,
with
people
you,
should ask
I'm
questions if
happy
they
that we
have any.
resonated with you. If we don't, we're not for you guys.
Hmm. Correct.
Yeah, you guys can ask questions maybe on our next live on Monday. We'll be here again Monday, next Monday. You can always go to the website again. I have all this information on the website under events. Like I said, elevatedbyclaudine.com. I'll figure out how to put this all on the bottom of the screen, you guys, as I go along. And don't forget, tomorrow morning, tune in to my live show, the spiritual show that flows, again with Julie. That starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. We go from 8 to 2, and that's Julie with Love Riot Warriors. Um, and she's helping me learn how to do all this stuff. And are just very pleased to be here live and be able to run our mouths for 2 hours.
Yes. And stop using supermarket deodorant. Change to natural. Buy Claudine's one. I'm telling you, whenever I talk to people, I'm like, stop using supermarket deodorant. It's so bad for you. It's so bad.
Yeah,
Your liver's trying to
it's bad.
detox out of there. Your kidneys are trying to detox, and then you go spray it with chemicals and just clog it all up. Like you got no
Yeah,
chance. It's a
yeah.
losing
And there's
battle.
a and there's a reason why all of this was put on us. There's a reason.
Yes,
The
correct,
corporation, the company you're buying your deodorant from knows how poison it is. So they're
correct.
profiting off of you to make you
Yeah,
sick, you guys.
to make you sick. Correct. It's all an
Yes, yes.
agenda, people.
It's
It
well,
is.
we're gonna go ahead and sign off now. We are at the 7:22 mark here in Arizona. We've been on live for 2 hours. Well, we're going on 2 hours. We've got about 2 minutes
Yep.
left. We were about 2 minutes late today.
I'm on
But
12:23 already. I passed the 22 mark.
yeah, I'm at 7:23, but it
Yeah.
says up here that we've been live
I
for one
know.
hour and 58
58.
minutes and 6 seconds.
That's weird.
So, yeah. But anyways, you guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. And I want to wish you guys a happy everything. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Oops.